Hello students, I hope you're keeping fine. Topic for today is fundamental concepts of algebra. Now you have already learnt about the fundamental concepts in your previous classes. Anyways, let's review. So what is an algebra? It is a branch of mathematics that deals in representing numbers through variables like the letters of the English alphabet and other symbols. Now, what is the use of algebra? Algebra helps you to think logically and will in fact help you in solving many real life problems. Let's take a simple example. Let's say Aman and Akash are two brothers. Their mother gives them 10 rupees in total. Now, if we know that the amount or the money given to Aman is rupees 6, then definitely the amount given to Akash will be 4. 10 minus 6. Now, how using algebra we can find the amount that is given to Akash? We may say, let the money received by Akash be rupees X, and we know that the sum total of the amount received by Aman and Akash will be equal to 10. So we can say X plus 6 is equal to rupees 10, right? So if we transpose 6 to the other side, so it will become 10 minus 6, that will be equal to 4 rupees. So we found out the value of X. So similarly in algebra, we are finding the unknown. So we are assuming the variable X as a number or an amount that is given to X. So we can assume any variable for a number which is not given. Let's take another example. Let's say there are 3 friends, Raju, Shiv and Prem. Now 50 rupees, rupees 50 is divided among them, okay, in such a way that Raju gets rupees 5, but it is given in the question that Prem receives twice of what Shiv receives, twice the amount received by Shiv. Now with the help of algebra, what we can do, we can say let the amount received by Shiv be X rupees, and we know that Prem received twice the amount of Shiv, that is rupees 2x, 2 times x, 2 into x, right? So now we can say the sum total of these will be equal to 50. Let's do it. 5 plus x plus 2x will be equal to 50. So we can add the xx part. 5 plus 3x will be equal to 50. So 3x, let's transpose 5, the constant that side. So 50 minus 5, that will give us 45, and then we'll transpose 3. So 3 15s are 45. X is equal to 15. So the amount received by Shiv is rupees 15, and what will the amount received by Prem be? Twice the amount received by Shiv, that is 2 times 15, that is rupees 30. 30 plus 15 plus 5 will give us rupees 50. Now the variables such as A, B, C and X, Y, Z are also termed as literals. So we can call them literals as well. And the numbers like 0, 1, minus 2 by 3, 5, 13, 26, these numbers will be termed as the constant. Now why are they called constant and why are they called variables? Now these are called constant because you cannot have any other values for these numbers. They are fixed. You cannot have 1 and something else. 1 is 1, 5 is 5, minus 2 by 3 is the same. You cannot have any other value. But for the variable, we don't know the number. The number is unknown. So it can be anything. So it is not fixed. Let's say x plus y is equal to 5. So here there can be various possibilities for x and y. If I take x to be 1, y will be 4. That will be equal to 5. If I take x to be 2, y will be 3. Right? And if I take x to be 3, y will be 2. That will be equal to 5. If I take x to be 4, y will be 1. So there are so many possibilities for x and so many possibilities for y. So they are not fixed. It can be anything. So that is the reason why they are termed as variables. We can apply the basic operations of mathematics like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division on variables in the same way like we apply these operations when using numbers. So when we talk about addition of variables, we can say that 2 plus x. Now this variable term is not known, so we can leave it like that until we know the value for this term. We can add x plus y. Here x can have a value, y can have a separate value. Then x plus x. Here the variables are the same, so we can add the variables together. It will become 2x. Now if there was y plus y, it could have become 2y. Clear? If we add 2x plus 3x, here it has the variable x, this also has the variable x, so both have the same variables, so it will be 5x. Then x plus 0 will give you x, or 0 plus x will give you x. Now let's look at subtraction. So we can do x minus 2. So here 2 is being subtracted from x, so whatever the value of x, from that we are going to subtract 2. We can do x minus y. So any value of x, there is some other value of y, we can subtract and get, we are subtracting y here, okay, to get the value for x minus y. Then x minus y, both are same, so it will result in 0. If it was to be 3x minus x, then there is 3x, there is 1x here, means 2x. So the variable has to remain the same in order to carry on the operation of addition, subtraction, multiplication or division on variables. So whenever we are adding and subtracting, the only terms which have the same variables can be added or subtracted. Let's look at multiplication. So if we are multiplying a variable, let's say 3 times x, it will become 3x. So whenever you see a number represented in this form, 3x, 2x, 4y, 5z, it means 5 multiplied by y, 5 multiplied by z. And without the multiplication sign, we can write them side by side. But if it was to be two numbers like 3 times 2, you cannot write it 3 2. It will be absolutely wrong because it looks like the number 32. So you cannot do this. This is not applicable for the constant terms. Only when we have a variable included, then we can write it as 3x. So if we have x multiplied by x, now we are just taking x and y here. Basically, we are not bringing other variables. You can take a, b, c, d, any other variable. So x times x will give us x square, right? Now we can multiply other variables, x into y into z. That will give you x, y, z, right? Then 7 x into z will give you 7 xz. Clear? Now let's look at division. So in division, so x divided by y means we are dividing x by y. So we can write in fractional form as well, x by y. So if there is a constant term being divided by a variable, let's say 2 divided by x, so we can write it as 2 by x. If we are dividing y by a constant term, let's say 5, then it will be y by 5. X is being divided by x, then it will be x by x, which means 1. It's like 5 divided by 5 means what? 1. And anything divided by x divided by 1, so anything divided by 1 will give you the same variable or the same number. Like any number, we can apply the law of addition and multiplication on variables. Let's say x plus y can also be written as y plus x. It means 2 plus 3 and 3 plus 2 means the same thing. So x plus y is equal to y plus x. So, and in multiplication, if I multiply x times y and if I multiply y times x, see, without the multiplication sign I'm writing, it means multiplication. Okay, so xy is equal to yx, both are the same thing. So you can say this is the commutative law. Isn't it? So you can commute the place and still it will remain the same. Now let's look at the associative law. So if we are having x plus y plus z, if I am associating y with z first, and then if I associate x plus y means y with x now and z left after, so it's still the same. If it is 2 and 3 and 5, so 5 plus 3 will give you 8, 8 plus 2 10. So here if I have to add x plus y first, so 2 plus 3 5, 5 plus 5 10 means the same thing. And in multiplication, let's see, so x multiplied by y times z, or we can do x times y first and then multiply by z, both means the same thing. So we can say that it is the associative law. Then we can apply the distributive law on variables as well. So basically it is the distribution of addition over multiplication. So if I write x multiplied by a plus b, so I'm using this variable and just changing the variable. So x is multiplied by a plus b, okay, is equal to x ax plus bx. So a will be multiplied with x and b will be multiplied with x. it means the same thing. So this is the distributive law. Clear with the laws of operations? Powers of variables. Now you have already learnt about the powers and exponents. So here in variables, even we'll have powers and exponents. If I multiply x times x, it will give us x square. If I multiply x times x times x times y times y times y times y. So here we have 3 x's. So x cube. Here we have 4 y's. So into y to the power 4, or simply we can write x cube y to the power 4, right? So x times z times z times y can be written as x y z square, right? Now x to the power 1, anything to the power 1 means the same thing, so it will be x. But if I do anything to the power 0, which means it will be 1. So anything to the power 0 will give you 1. Before moving on to algebraic expressions, let's understand what terms are. It is a combination of constants and variables connected only by operations of multiplication and division. Okay, so here you see these are the examples of terms that is given. So here 3 multiplied by x, that is 3x, is a term. Negative 5 multiplied by x multiplied by y, negative 5xy is a term. So here 4z square is a term, 2 by 7 ab is a term, 15x y square z cube is a term. Okay, now what are algebraic expressions? It is a collection of numbers and variables connected by 2 or more operations. So here you see that these terms are connected with each other, the numbers and the variables, with the help of the operations like addition, subtraction, right? Now individually, you know, just now we learned these are called terms. So now you see here, so this algebraic expression has 4 terms, which are 2x, 3y, 4z and 7. So these are the 4 terms. Similarly here 5 by 6x is one term, then 9y is another term, 2 by 3z is another term. Now they are connected with the help of the operations of addition and subtraction, right? So this algebraic expression has 3 terms. This algebraic expression has 2 terms. Now based on the number of terms, there are certain special names assigned to the algebraic expressions. So if there is only one term, let's say 3x, and there is only one term, so it will be termed as a monomial. If an algebraic expression has 2 terms, it will be termed as a binomial. And if an algebraic expression has 3 terms, it will be termed as a trinomial. Now what about 4 terms? Now basically, when we have 2 or more than 2 terms, they are termed as multinomials. So here we have some special name for 2 terms, 3 terms, but anyways they can also be termed as multinomials. So 2 or more than 2 terms can be termed as multinomials. Now what are factors and coefficients? in a term. Now given a term, constant and variables multiplied together to form a term are the factors of the term. So here 5 multiplied by x, so 5 is a factor of the term 5x and x is a factor of the term 5x. Each factor of a term is the coefficient of the remaining factor. Each factor of a term is the coefficient of the remaining factor. So here if I say what is the coefficient of x, it will be 5. So the remaining factor is 5. If I am asking the coefficient of x, the remaining factor is 5. That will be the coefficient of x. If I ask you what is the coefficient of 5, what is the remaining factor? X. Now coefficient of x is 5. Now 5 can be termed as the numerical coefficient, whereas x can be termed as the variable coefficient. Let's look at this term and find out the coefficient for 7. What will the coefficient for 7 be? So the coefficient for 7 will be x y square z cube. If I ask you what is the coefficient for 7x, then it will be y square and z cube, the remaining factors. If I ask you what is the coefficient of 7x y square, it will be z cube. Or if I ask you what is the coefficient of 7xy, then you'll say x, then you'll say y z cube. So here y square, so one y is here, the other y is there. So each factor of the term is a coefficient of the remaining factors. Remember that. Now what are like and unlike terms? Now you pretty much know what terms are. So like terms will be basically those terms which have the same variable part, or you can say same variable with the same power. So here if we see 3x and let's say 5x, so we can see these two terms are like terms, right? If we have 7 by 3 y square and 3 y square, then both are like terms. Let's take 2xy and 5y. Are they like terms? No, they cannot be like term. They have to have the same variable part. So here we have x extra, so here we do not have x, so they are not like terms, they are unlike terms. Then now you remember when we used to do the operations of addition subtraction on variables, we were able to add and subtract only the terms which had the same variables. We were able to add the terms which had the same variable part, right? So here we can add 3 plus 5x, but if we are asked to add 2xy plus 5y, we cannot. If we are asked to add 7 by 3 y square plus 3y square, we will be able to add or subtract. But when the variables are not the same, when they have different variable parts, you cannot add or subtract. So you're clear with like terms and unlike terms. Let's take one more example for like and unlike terms. So 3x square y cube z 4. Here you have 4 by 5 x square y square z 4. Now tell me, are they like terms? No. Why? Because x square is okay here, z to the power 4 is okay here, but y cube and here we have y square. So they are again not like terms, they are unlike terms. Now, degree of a term. Now, what is the degree of a term? Let's say 3x square. So if I ask you what is the degree of this term, you will say 2. So degree of term 3x square is 2. What does that mean? Means we have to look at the variable part. So the variable, what is the power of the variable that we have to find? So here we have 2, means the degree of term 3x square is 2. If we had a variable 2y, then the degree of this variable will be 1, because y is to the power 1. There is nothing means 1, right? Now, if it is written as 5x square y, right, then what will be the degree of this term? We will add the powers of the variable x and the variable y. What is the power of the variable y? Will be 1 if there is nothing. So total will be 3. So we can say degree of term 5x square y is 3. Now don't just look at the power of x and write the degree is 2. The degree will be 3. The sum of the exponent, okay, the index part of the variables. Let us take one more example. So 2 by 3 x square y cube z to the power 5. Now what will be the degree of this term? So degree of this term will be 2 plus 3 plus 5, that is the powers of x, y and z. So 2, 3 and 5 will give us 10, right? So degree of term 2 by 3 x square y cube and z5, z to the power 5 is 10. So I hope degree of the term is clear. Polynomial. Now what is a polynomial? An algebraic expression can be termed as a polynomial if it has finite sum of terms and contains only non-negative integral exponent of a variable. Now finite sum of terms means countable number of terms, okay, and only non-negative integral exponent of variable means the exponential part or the index cannot have a negative integer, right? So if I write 7x to the power minus 2, this term cannot be a part of the polynomial. So that algebraic expression that includes this term in which the exponential part or the index part of the variable is negative will not be termed as a polynomial. Okay, and even if anything is given in the form of, let's say, 2 by x. So by means what? 1 by x. Now in exponents you have learnt 1 by a can be written as a to the power minus 1. So here 2 by x we can write 2 into x to the power minus 1. So again x has a negative power. So these terms cannot be included in the polynomial. So that algebraic expression which has these terms will not be termed as the polynomial. So we have to exclude those terms. Now let's look at some of the polynomials. So we can have polynomials in one variable or polynomials in two or more variables. Let's look at an example for polynomial in one variable. So if I say 3x plus 5 by 3 x square plus 7x So you see here there is only one variable that is being included. I have not taken y, z or any other variable. So this polynomial is a polynomial in one variable. Now this is in fact a polynomial. So you know what is the criteria for being a polynomial. It should not have a variable that has a negative exponent index. Now let's take a look at a polynomial in two or more variables. So you basically have got the idea. So 3xy plus 7z square plus 10xyz. Now you can see this is a polynomial in two or more variables. So we have taken three variables here. I hope you are clear with the terms, the algebraic expressions, and how algebraic expressions can be termed as polynomials. And you are also clear with the degree of a term, right? Now we will define polynomial, or there are certain special names given to polynomials on the basis of the degree of polynomials. Now you have learnt about the degree of terms just now. What was it? The power, you can say, the power of the variable. So if there were two variables, then we added the powers, right? So here in a polynomial there are many terms. So out of these terms, now what will be the degree of the polynomial? So here we have to choose a term in which the variable has the highest power, okay? Or you can say, the if I add the index of the variables, the power will be the highest. So here in the first polynomial we see, here we have only one variable, so x square, x cube and x to the power 1. So here we see x is highest in the second term. So 3 is the degree of this term. Now if 3 is the degree of this term and among the other terms it is the highest, so in this polynomial the degree will be 3. So degree of polynomial 3x square plus 2x cube plus 7x in variable x is 3. So we have to mention the variable as well. In which variable? Variable x is 3. So the degree of the polynomial is 3. Now let's look at the second polynomial. So here let's see which term has the highest power. So if you look at the first term, so x square, so 2 plus 2 plus 1, that is 5. Here 2 plus 2, that is 4, and here we have 1. So this first term has the highest power. So what will the degree of this term be? 5 in variable x, y, z. So we can say degree of polynomial two x square y square z plus 10x square y square plus z in variable x, y and z is 5. There are some special names of polynomials given to them on the basis of their degrees. So the degree of a polynomial decides their special names. So if a polynomial has degree 1, it will be termed as a linear polynomial. And if a polynomial has degree 2, it will be termed as the quadratic polynomial. and a polynomial with degree 3 will be termed as a cubic polynomial. And finally, a polynomials with degree 4 will be termed as quartic or biquadratic polynomial. So these are the special names assigned to the polynomials on the basis of their degrees. Now, no matter how many variables they have, if they are in one variable, they are in two variables, three variables. If the degree is 1, it is a linear polynomial. If the degree is 2, it is a quadratic polynomial. If it is a degree 3, then it is a cubic polynomial. And if it has a degree 4, it is a quartic or biquadratic polynomial. A variable can have different value in different situations. If a certain value is assigned to any of the variables, then the algebraic expression also changes to a certain value. Let's say in this example, let x be 2. Now let's substitute the value of 2 in place of x. So 7 multiplied by 2 plus 2 in place of x, we can write 2 square plus 5. 7 multiplied by 2 gives us 14 plus 2 2s are 4 multiplied by 4. 2 square is 4. 5. So 14 plus 2 4s are 8 plus 5. Now if we add them, what do we have? 14 plus 8, 22 plus 5, 27. So if we assign the value 2 to x, which is the variable in this expression, algebraic expression, the result of this algebraic expression is 27. Now let's recap what we have learned today. So first, definition of algebra. What is algebra? It is a branch of mathematics that deals in representing numbers through variables, right? And you know what variables are. Next, we learned about constants and variables. The constant part, which is fixed, literals or variables which are not fixed, are changeable. Operations on variables. Now variables can be treated in the same manner like we treat the constant or the numbers. The basic operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication and division can be applied. Then the laws of operations like the associative, distributive and commutative law of multiplication and addition also applies on the variables. Then powers of literals. So the variables can be expressed in the form of powers or exponents. Algebraic expressions. So we have learned about the terms and how to express them algebraically. We have learned. So next we have learned about factors and coefficients. So in a term, when constants and variables are multiplied together to form a term, each of the constants and variables that are multiplied are called the factors, and the coefficient, if I take one factor, then the other factor will be the coefficient, remaining factor will be the coefficient of this factor. Like and unlike terms. So the terms having the same variable part are the like terms. The terms that do not have the same variable part are the unlike terms. Polynomials. Now to be the algebraic expression to be a polynomial has to satisfy one condition, that the variable exponent or the index cannot be negative, right? The degree of terms and polynomials. So we have learned about the degree of terms, the exponential power, or you can say the highest power of a term is called the degree of a term or the degree of polynomial. And then finally, value of an algebraic expression. We can input any value into the variable and get a certain value for the algebraic expression. So I hope this lesson was clear to you. Thank you.